It's with an extremely heavy heart that we are updating what happened in Las Vegas and in New Orleans on the first of the year. And the stories keep getting more and more detailed. Strange in a way of how they got to where they are, and not so strange in a way of how we are where we are. So, with all the, let's say, disinformation and non information we had in the early parts, and what we're learning going deeper into the story, we need to just do a quick dive into what's going on. This will be a quick run through of some things. First, Las Vegas, then with New Orleans, so where we're at in a moment. So we have been updating with the Conversation Project as things go along. So every single day and some things over the weekend we did. But here's where we landed with this is the things we're talking about. We talked about this morning in this morning's edition of things you might not have heard about the two attacks. Starting with Las Vegas first, because it just seemed a bit more of a deeper dive into learning about the person who was responsible. Army Master Sergeant Matthew Livensberger, of course, who shot himself before he actually set the explosives off. No one's actually said how that worked out as well, but the rumors and the innuendo that the cop killed himself, the truck drove itself to the hotel and blew itself up. It doesn't work that way. That's not what happened. 7 bystanders were injured in the blast because we said earlier the build of the Cybertruck, it is pretty much close to indestructible, kept the blast from doing worse damage, essentially holding in the actual explosion and going up to release the pressure as opposed to exploding out and going into the building. He is a decorated Green Beret from Colorado Springs. He's been in the Army since 2006 and had deployments including places like Afghanistan, and he is dealing with right now PTSD and personal challenges, including the separation recently from his wife, like within weeks of separation from his wife. The Cybertruck attack, which happened with, it was rigged with fireworks, gas tanks, and camping fuel, detonated after he took his life in front of the hotel, is the crescendo. But the notes he left on his phone and the conversation he had, calling this a wake up call for the United States, expressing dissatisfaction with the country's direction. Now, what's really interesting is that he blew this thing up in front of Donald Trump's hotel using an Elon Musk built car, but he has no ill will toward either person. He doesn't have a bone against them. I don't know how he voted, but he acted independently. This is not a terror attack. You don't want no one from ISIS or any other place inspired him to do this. He just wanted to send the message. The message that we're getting is that, unfortunately, PTSD is a serious thing. Mental health issues is a serious thing. Veterans and current military personnel suffering with PTSD, mental health issues, and some other injuries that are causing them to be in these conditions are bad. Something that Donald Trump said he'd do, I'm not sure this was a day one thing, is he's going to do things to deal with the VA and veteran systems. We'll see if that happens. I'm not sure how much veteran systems would have helped the next person, that being, of course, Shamsin Dim Jabbar, the Army veteran. He was a veteran who carried out the attack in New Orleans in the French Quarter. But what we're seeing from here is an update in technology, the technology that we see as frivolous and maybe over costly, if you will, just costly enough to do with things. He's using that to actually do his surveillance. He wore Meta smart glasses during his prep visits to New Orleans. More than one visit, driving through town, checking things out, recording things, taking pictures of things that he was going to use or utilize during this attack. Now, the grand part of this, the actual act, what's actually grand about this, is he didn't have them on, was not using them, was not recording or live streaming as the event happened. So thank God for that. But he visited New Orleans twice before, driving around with the smart glasses on, which of course could take video and camera pictures and audio of a person driving around and doing whatever. Now, what's going to be interesting about smart glasses and of course all these little charms and devices we use that we can use to record all things so that we don't forget a thing. However, privacy and other things like surveillance type things of what people are actually doing with these things are going to be a big risk. If you think these drones flying around New Jersey are a big deal, think about the Meta glasses. This isn't Google Glass with a big old large Borg-like appendage on your glasses that were pretty obvious to see and made you look like, as they called you, a glass hole. These are very smart looking glasses. You see them in the picture there. You can, unless you know what you're looking for, you can't tell that in the sides or maybe in the middle, there's a camera. There's a sensor. It's checking you out and keeping things going. You don't know that. So that's on that end. The very sad, tragic story of this man as well, also dealing with 2 divorces and being separated from his children and financial ruin, brought him to a place where he was weaponized by ISIS. He was inspired by ISIS to do this attack because he saw things in the wrong direction. which brought a whole lot of misinformation on that end. We're sad to have to keep updating these stories. We're extremely sad these stories happen. But as the Conversation Project lives for you to talk about things that are conversational, these are the most conversational things going forward, even as time goes on and other things are going to get our attention. So as long as you guys want to get deeper into this one, and as long as there's things to update, we shall keep updating. So let us know how well you want to. And if you guys really do want to stop talking about it, let me know. We'll talk about more frivolous stories or important stories or money stories. We have a whole lot of government stories to get to for the next 4 years of administration. So trust me, we have plenty of content. This right now seems to be the best content to get to because it's the content everyone really needs answers to.